Hi crafters, it's Chloe from Chloe's Creative Cards, and today I'm going to talk to you all about the fabulous Build a Bouquet collection. Today's video is just a short introduction to a couple of elements from the collection and how you're going to be able to use them on your projects. So Build a Bouquet, the idea came about it was quite a long time ago now. I want to say about 2017, I think it was. We've popped it up on the Facebook page anyway, the absolute OG card. Where this collection was inspired by. So it was the card that Becca made, and she'd basically used one of our flower dies to build a bouquet. And we're like, there's got to be an easier way to do this. So that is where the gorgeous Bouquet Builder stamp came along, and our brand new stamp and dies. Now, if you've got any of our other previous flower stamps, of course, you can use them with the Bouquet Builder to build different kinds of bouquets. But today I'm going to be talking about our brand new 2 flower stamps as well. So we've got our beautiful Bouquet Blossom and we've got our beautiful Bouquet Bloom. So these are lovely stamp and die sets, and we've done them a little bit differently, which should hopefully make it a little bit easier for you lining up your stamps and dies. And also easier for batch making as well. So I'm going to dive on in to start with, and we're going to start off with this fabulous Bouquet Builder stamp. Now it's quite a large image, so I've got it stuck already onto my acrylic block. So this is our square acrylic block, which if you've got our acrylic block set, you will of course have. So I've got a piece of our crystal white pearl card, and I'm going to start off by just dusting that over with an anti-static bag, like so. I'm then going to take my Wow Clear embossing ink pad, and I'm going to ink up the stamp. So let me just bring this in. So you're literally going to just ink up all over the image, like so. Okay, lots of tapping all over the image. What you're then going to do is you're going to take this stamp and stamp it down onto your card. So I'm going to stamp mine about here, nearing the bottom. And then you're going to press. So you want firm, even pressure all over the stamp. And then we're going to lift that off. Okay, and we're going to take a piece of scrap card, which I've got here. And we're going to cover it with some Wow embossing glitter. Now the embossing glitter I'm going to use is one of the stamps by Chloe Colours, and this one is Golden Pine. So it's a lovely zingy green. Really lovely for doing your foliage. We're then going to take that and we're going to heat it up. So I'm going to just take this lovely bouquet image back in. I'm going to grab my heat gun and just heat the image up. So all we're doing is holding that heat gun still. And then as soon as that embossing powder melts and changes, we are just going to move the heat gun over the image. Right, so you can see how gorgeous and glittery that is then looking. Now what I then like to do is I like to darken down the leaves a little bit. So I'm going to take a Copic marker pen. This one's in pea green, and I'm just going to colour in the little gaps in the leaves. You don't have to be too careful when you do this, because we are going to go over the top with some Sparkelicious glitter and we're going to bling this up. Now the reason why I go in and colour like this is because I'm not so keen on if you miss a little bit with your glue with a little bit of white showing through. I'd rather if we're using a green glitter it showed through as green. So we're going to go in like this and just infill and colour in all of these little leaf elements, like so. we go. And you can see how fab that is then looking. So what we're then going to do is take our Art Glitter Dries Clear Glue, which is this one here. Take your pin out the top, and then we're going to take our glue and just infill the leaves like so. So just going to work our way around, infilling the little gaps in the leaves. So, and you can see how beautiful this will then look. Okay, and then we're going to take one of the new glitters. This is Magical Meadow, and we're going to sprinkle this over the top. So this is one of our gorgeous Sparkelicious glitters, and you can see it's that chunky effect. So it gives you this really nice blingy sparkle on the leaves there. And then we're going to pop that back into the jar. The glitters do tend to expand a little bit once you empty them out of the jar, so just be mindful of that when you're popping it back in. There we go. I'm going to bring in my little sweeping brush just to get rid of that over there. There we go. Okay, so you can see how that is then looking. What we're then going to do is bring in the dies that you get in the Stamp and Die set. So there's two different designs. So you've got the beautiful Bouquet Bloom, which is like the 5-petal flower. And then you've got the beautiful Bouquet Blossom, which is the 4-petal flower. So I'm going to use a mix of both on this project. So I've taken the large and the medium bloom and the medium blossom. And then I'm going to grab in some of our gorgeous watercolour washes vellum. Now I'm actually going to fold this in half, like so. And then pop my dies on the top. And I'm going to tape those down in place. So I'm just using a little bit of low tack tape. This is the Scotch low tack tape, and I'm just going to tape them diagonally like that. Then I'm going to take my cutting plates for my Gemini. So I've got my base plate, my plastic shim, my dies cut side up, and then a cutting plate on the top. And we're going to run that through the machine. Like so. So we're just going to let that run through. And then we're going to grab that at the other side and push these through. So then you will have 2 of each flower beautifully die cut. A little bit stuck with my low tack tape there, but we'll push these through. Okay, I'm going to take the largest die and I'm going to pop it back on, because you do need 3 of each flower to complete this project, but I have got some that I've already done. So I'll pop those to one side, and I'm going to run this one straight back through. And then we're going to grab in the little stamps. So I'm just going to do one flower to show you, but just to explain, this is my well-used stamp set here. So So what we've done with these flower stamps, and it'll make more sense when I stamp them out, is we've left the outline off the image. So what that means is you can stamp after you've die cut. So for example, we've just cut out all those flowers in one pass, and then we're going to go back and stamp them afterwards. So you're going to take your stamp, pop it onto your acrylic block, like so. You're then going to grab your flower stamp. Now, what is worth noting again, and I should have noted this on my, when I die cut them out, is the flowers are all symmetrical, but if it helps you, we have put the tiny little extra notch of polymer on the top of the stamps and the little notch of metal out of the dies as well. So what we're then going to do is take an anti-static bag, and you're going to dust over your flowers. So I'll do 3 of the large to show you, because I think the large shows up better on camera. And I'm going to take my clear embossing ink pad, ink up my stamp, and we're going to go in, and we're just going to hover and stamp over the top. So that's one. We're going to re-ink. In fact, before we re-ink, I want to get my embossing powder onto there. So we're going to be using Opaque Bright White Superfine, which is this one here. So let's get that embossing powder sprinkled over. There we go. You can see where I've just caught a bit. I think I've got a little bit of ink on my fingers because I can just feel it. So if you do that at home, you can just take a little paintbrush and just brush that off. It can also be the residue from your tape as well. So that's that one. It's another little tap. Ink up our stamp. Hover over the top and press. Lift off. Of course, you could be doing this with your coloured ink pads as well. You don't need to necessarily emboss them if you don't want to. And then the third one. Hover down and press and lift that off. Okay, and then you can see how you've got the detail on the beautiful flower images. Okay, so then we're going to pop our embossing powder back into the jar. Like so. And we're going to heat these up. So I'm going to use my heat gun. And I'm just going to go in and heat up the petals. Like so. You might need something to just hold them in place so they don't blow away. You will find on vellum as well that the embossing powder turns super duper quickly. It's that one, and then this one. Again, straight in, heating up that powder. If you bring up this one that's cool, you can then see how you've got the detail on the flowers. So we're going to do the same kind of technique as we normally do. We're going to put a little bit of glitter onto these. So again, I'm going to use a brand new chunky Crystallina glitter, which is absolutely beautiful. And I'm going to use my Dry's Clear Glue just to go in and just add a few little dots onto the petals like so. And sprinkle that over the top, and you can see this new chunky Crystallina is beautiful. It is absolutely gorgeous. So again, just going in, adding those little dots of PVA. Picking up the flower and covering with the Sparkelicious glitter. any excess is going to go straight back into the jar. Again, just be mindful of it expanding and be careful when you pop it back in when your jar's new. So what you then do is allow that to dry. Okay, I've got a smaller one here that's done and dry. So let me move those out of the way. And then all you're going to do is literally pinch down the centre of each of the petals like so. A little bit of glue in the middle. And then we're just going to start to layer this up. So, and you can see how beautiful those flowers then look. So we've done a large one, a medium one, and then we've done a medium one of the other shaped flower as well. You will see a little bit of glue in the centre. That's absolutely fine, nothing to worry about. What we're going to do is take our stamen die sets that you also get within the collections, and these are different shapes to the stamen dies that we've done before as well. And we're going to grab those out and just die cut some of those to go in the middle. So I've got a bit of yellow paper over here that I'm going to use to die cut this from. This is from our the Pastel Sorbet A4 paper pad. We have got that many paper pads on the go at the moment. I'm losing track as to which one's which. So we're going to take that, we're going to take down those little stamen dies, and then we're going to run that through our Gemini. So again, just quickly running that through, like so. And we'll grab that at the other side when it's done. Take our little stamen out. There we go. And I'm going to take my poker tool and just push the little dies through, just by using the little release holes that are on there. That's 1, 2, 3. And you can see all 3 are different, the different shapes for each flower as well, just to make them that a little bit different. And then what we're going to do is go in with a little bit more Sparkelicious glitter, and this is another one of the new ones. This one is called Mexican Sunrise, and it's beautiful because it's like a matte glitter, but it's got a little bit of sparkle in there as well, which is a little bit different. And it kind of looks like, do you know when you get pollen in the middle of the flowers? It almost looks like pollen on your projects, which is super duper pretty. So we're going to pop that on there and then sprinkle that over the top. And then if we lift that up and tap away the excess, you can see how gorgeous that looks. I've left the centre free because I'm going to pop a jewel in the middle. So we're just going to go around, add in the little dots of glue, and then cover with that gorgeous glitter. And it does look really tactile and 3D as well on your projects. And then next up, we're just going to whiz around the edge. Like so. Tap away the excess. So I'm going to go over there. Shuffle those off. Glitter's going straight back into the jar. We're then going to grab in our gorgeous bouquet that we started building. So we've got our bouquet builder. So I'm just showing you how to create a topper today. I'm not going to make a full card. You're then going to take your pin flare glue I like to use and just position your flowers. So So you can arrange these onto the project. So we have kind of given you a little bit of an idea as to where to place them by where we've popped the stems. But you can go to town and add more flowers if you want, or if you want to add less, you can as well. So what we're then going to do is take our little stamen and pull the little edges up. Normally, again, I would let this dry. Little blob on the back. Drop that one down into the middle of the flower. Do the same with this little one here. Little blob of glue there. Into the middle. The same with this one here. And then into the middle. Like so. Again, letting that glue dry does make it a little bit easier. But you can see how gorgeous that then looks. Okay, and then of course you can be taking some jewels as well. So we've got a new bling box within this collection, which is called Beautiful Bouquets. You've got a lovely selection. You've got greens, you've got pinks, you've got golden colours in here as well. So then you can go in and just pop a dot of glue into the middle of each of the flowers. And I'm going to take one of these more goldy coloured ones. Just drop that down in, oops, into the middle of the flower, like so. Okay, and then if you want to take this up a level again, we also have a couple of little add-on sets. So we have a gorgeous string bow, which I'm going to grab here. Always challenging to pick the little dies out of the box. So it comes with a small and a large. I'm just going to use the small on this one. We also have a teeny tiny tag, which is so cute. So I'm going to die cut both of these out. I'm going to get some our Lagoon mirror card to die cut that bow, because the bows die cut really lovely in the mirror. Grab a little piece of this. And just tape that one down into place and tape our tiny tag into place as well. This little tiny tag is the cutest thing ever. So much detail on it as well. It's got a little scalloped edge at the bottom and a little heart at the top, which is gorgeous. And I'm just going to grab an acrylic block, and I'm going to grab an ink pad. I'm going to take my little tiny tag set, and I'm going to take the With Love and stamp that onto my little tag. So then if we take these away from the die cutting machine, let's get rid of this one. Give it a little wiggle. 1, 2, 4. There we go. And then we're going to take the little With Love. We're going to ink that up. It's just a VersaFine Clair ink pad. Stamp that onto the tag. Lift that off. Just give that a quick blast with my heat gun. To dry that off, and we're going to stick this down onto our project. So with the bow, I like to just give it a little bit of shape before I stick it down. So I'm just going to use a little bit of glue gel to stick that onto there. And with my little tag, just put a little bit of glue on the bottom, and I just like to kind of tuck it under the bow like that. And that would then be your finished little card topper using the new Build a Bouquet collection. So all of the products I've used, I've linked in the description below, and they're also all available on www.chloescreativecards.co.uk. Today's video was just to show you a basic idea as to how to use the Bouquet Builder stamp and the new Build a Bouquet flowers. We've got more videos up on the channel showing you more in-depth card tutorials and how to make the most of this collection. So if you haven't done so already, please do hit subscribe on the little button below. Thank you. Bye.